Today, we are going to explore the most amazing fossil discoveries ever. From a velociraptor in an unusual mummified position to a Mosasauric monster being fossilized mid-birth. Welcome to Content Jungle, where we explore the animal kingdom and look at creatures from both fact and fiction. We explore the wonders both in film and of the world. I hope that you enjoy, and if you're into these types of topics, consider subscribing. Be sure to stick around to the end to see one of the most amazing fossils that many have not yet seen. Now without further ado, let's dive into some of the most amazing fossil discoveries ever made. Let's kick things off with a fossil that many have decided to call not a fossil. This dinosaur has been preserved in a way that has never been seen before. That's because it was found with its skin still intact, as well as some of its guts still being present in the dinosaur. This had many people nickname it the dino mummy. This dinosaur is known as the dinosaur, a giant armored herbivore dinosaur that roamed the planet approximately 110 million years ago. This dinosaur was absolutely massive, being approximately 18 feet long and weighing an astounding 3,000 pounds. This discovery is marvelous as the creature was accidentally found by some Canadian miners in a marine environment where it was very uncommon to find dinosaurs. The dinosaur's physical appearance is a mystery, but there are some researchers who had a pretty compelling theory. It is theorized that the dinosaur may have been carried out to sea when a river took the dinosaur out to the open ocean, where it would eventually sink to the ocean floor. As time would progress, minerals could have replaced the dinosaur's armored skin over millions of years. This is a possible reasoning for why the dinosaur was preserved in such an extraordinary fashion. If you're interested in seeing this amazing find for yourself, it is on display at the Royal Tyrrell Museum. This next fossil has encaptured a fight that has been kept on for over 80 million years. This fossil is of a velociraptor and a protoceratops battling it out for survival. The velociraptor, of course, is a carnivorous dinosaur that was over 6 feet long and approximately 30 pounds. The protoceratops, of course, was on the smaller side of the ceratopsian group. In this iconic battle, it would appear that the velociraptor did serious damage, as one of its notorious claws would be found to have punctured the neck of the protoceratops, most likely damaging the blood flow. This does not go without consequences, of course, as the protoceratops would counter by biting the predator's arm and breaking it in its jaws. Now many, including myself, wonder how these two dinosaurs were preserved perfectly while in battle. There are a few theories. One theory suggests that the two dinosaurs were suddenly buried by a sand dune collapsing, which was followed by heavy rains. Another suggests that the herbivore bled out and eventually died, and would have possibly trapped the velociraptor under its body, which was followed by a sandstorm, preserving the two in battle for centuries. Either way that it happened, it is an astonishing find. Which theory do you believe? Now let's talk about the fossil that is both a miracle and tragedy at the same time. This fossil is shown to be life being created while instantly turning to death. This is a fossil of an ancient aquatic reptile who was giving birth as she most likely died while in labor, creating a one-of-a-kind fossil. This giant aquatic reptile was known as the dinosaur. They were considered to be one of the ocean's top predators in their time. While easily mistaken, they may have appeared to be dinosaurs, but they were actually distant relatives of lizards and snakes. They were rulers of their time and had a diet that consisted of anything they could catch, including fish, squid, and shellfish. They were incredibly fast swimmers, which aided in their ability to catch prey. There was a long discussion on how these species birthed their young, while some believing that they birthed tail first, but based on this fossil, it would reveal that they would birth head first. Many believe that they would not do this as they needed to breathe air, and being born headfirst gave the possibility that the young could drown, but this fossil would reveal otherwise. It is always very interesting to note that unlike reptiles today, they did not carry eggs. This fossil would appear that the mother has 3 babies. The first looked to have been born dead, while the second died half in and half out while leaving the last one still in the mother's stomach. This fossil has a very unique presence, introducing life and death simultaneously. Next up on the list, we have a real-life Jurassic Park scenario. We of course are talking about the amber fossilized mosquito found in Montana in 2013. Now, I am as big a Jurassic Park fan as any, and I'd love to see what they could potentially whip up in that engine lab. But sadly, this doesn't look to be the case. While scientists don't know exactly what blood is in the chambers of the mosquito, it is almost certain that it is not of any dinosaur, as the mosquito was believed to have been from roughly 46 million years ago. While unlike the mosquito in Jurassic Park, This one's DNA that it had within it was very scattered, as DNA is a lot more fragile than we had previously thought. Just after a few thousand years, the DNA seemed to fall apart. The mosquito is considered to be a one-of-a-kind finding, as finding a preserved mosquito with a full belly is a very rare finding. While there is most likely not going to be a Jurassic Park made today, with the current technologies we have, who knows what we will be capable of in the future. Next up, we have an amazing debate. We are not talking about one, but two of the biggest T-Rex fossils ever found. The biggest T-Rex that is currently believed to have the crown is nicknamed Scotty, while the former title holder is nicknamed Sue. Have you ever heard the saying, to beat the champ, you really gotta beat the champ? Well, this is sort of the situation we are currently in. First off, Sue was discovered in 1980. While the gender is not known for certain, it has taken on the name of the woman who found her, Sue Hendrickson. The massive fossil was discovered in South Dakota when Sue saw a few of the Rex's vertebrae that would ultimately lead to her discovery. She is believed to be 13 feet tall and just about 40.5 feet long. Remember how I mentioned you really need to beat the champ? This is where that comes into play. As most T-Rex fossils are only 60% found, Sue was 90% found. This is fascinating. Now let's discuss Scotty, a massive tyrant that was nicknamed after the celebratory bottle of scotch that was opened when it was first discovered in Canada in 1991. The fossil took over a decade to unearth due to the surrounding hard sandstone, making it difficult to obtain the fossil. Scotty is believed to be 42 feet long, but only 65% of it has been confirmed. This means that if the estimation of Scotty is off by just a few inches, it would not rightfully have earned the title of the biggest T-Rex to have ever been found. What do you think? Should Scotty hold the title, or is Sue just too complete to compete with? This final fossil has been in between battle for ownership for quite some time, as millions are at stake. Clayton Phipps and his friend Mark Eatman decided to set out to the dino-rich lands of Montana to make their discoveries of dinosaur fossils. Known as Dino Cowboy, the land of Montana was set out to be explored. One day, the fossil would be found at the Hells Creek area and would take quite some time to unearth. The fossil would be referred to as the dueling dinos. There, they discovered what looked to be a 22-foot-long theropod, which was most likely a T-Rex, and a 28-foot-long ceratopsian, which was most likely a Triceratops. The two fossils were preserved incredibly with possible mummified organs. The two would have appeared to have been in battle when they died, as the ceratopsian had teeth left in its spine and pelvis, and the theropod had a lateral split as it was kicked in the head. The expedition was initially signed off by the landowners to take place, but as the discovery was made, there was a debate of who the fossil belonged to. Who do you believe the fossil belonged to? The discoverers, who had permission to explore, or the landowners? Fossils are an absolutely amazing visual of the past creatures who roamed this earth before all of us. Which of these fossils do you think is the most interesting and why? Who do you think the dueling dinos belongs to? Here at Content Jungle, it's a favorite to dive into topics of dinosaurs and animals, both in film and in real life. If you are interested in similar topics, be sure to subscribe. I hope to see you next time, but until then, this is Content Jungle, signing out.